Classic Karate, written by Maso Young. Chapter 1, Fundamentals of Karate. Section, The Hand and Arm as Weapons. Technique 1, Seiken, Normal Fist. This is the strongest and the most effective of the fist positions. Seiken is used when performing Jodanzuki, the upper body thrust, a common position for attacking the face and jaw. Chudanzuki, middle body thrust, the attack position for the chest and stomach, and Gedanzuki, the lower body thrust, for attacking the lower abdomen and groin. This fist can be used in defense as well as in attack, as shown in the first 4 photos. Starting with the little finger, bend all 4 fingers so that their tips are lightly digging into the hand as close to their bases as possible. Bend the thumb over the second joints of the first 2 fingers to further tighten the fist. When thrusting with the seiken, you should strike the object directly with the knuckles of the first 2 fingers. In this position, if you strike an object with any of the other finger joints, you will most probably injure your hand. A punch with the fist in the seiken position should be thrust straight out from the shoulder. In the correct starting position, you should hold the fist with the palm facing up, touching your side on level with your chest. And simultaneously, as you thrust forward, turn the fist inward so that at the point of attack, the object will be struck by the knuckles of the first 2 fingers. In the final position, the palm should now be facing down. It is of utmost importance that at this point the arm and the back of the hand are held rigidly in a straight line, and that the object is being struck foremost by the knuckles of the first 2 fingers. For beginners, the seiken position is recommended for practice sparring in order to avoid serious injuries while at the same time expressing great power. Subsection A, Seiken Chudanzuki, the middle body thrust with the normal fist. Starting with the fist in the normal position, the fist is being held with the palm up against the side and on a level with the chest. Thrust forward in a straight line at the point of striking the target. All the forward momentum should be transferred to the fist, which is now held with the palm down. If there is any bend in the arm at this point, the transfer of power to the fist is inefficient. Further, it is probable that a wrist injury will result. It is obvious, therefore, that you must time your punch so that it strikes the target a fraction of a second before the arm has reached its full extension in order for all its power to be spent on the target. Subsection B, Seiken Jodanzuki, upper body thrust using a normal fist. The procedure for this is basically the same as that for Seiken Chudanzuki. However, you aim your punch at the facial area. Subsection C, Mawashi, Seiken Mawashi Uchi, turning or roundhouse punch with normal fist. Again, start with the fist in the normal position, but this time, twist your body so your fist is hidden from the opponent. Swing the striking arm outwards from the side in a large half-circle motion and strike the opponent on the side of the head or behind the ear. The twisting of the hips and the snapping back of the other arm is essential for maximum power to be generated in the striking fist. This punch is most useful against a taller attacker. Subsection D, Seiken Ago Uchi, strike to the jaw with the normal fist. For this punch, the striking hand is held at shoulder level and close to the body as the wrist is partially turned forward, unlike the previous techniques which have all begun with the hand in the basic position. The power for this punch is created by the sharp pulling back of the other arm simultaneous with the forward thrust. Unlike the previously described punches, this one should be pulled back immediately after striking the object. Technique 2, Uriken, the back fist. There are 2 basic methods for using this fist. In the first, the fist is clenched in the same way as it is in the Seiken position. However, in the Uriken position, The object is struck by the back of the knuckles rather than the front. With this method, the spring action of the wrist facilitates the striking of an opponent who is either very close or at your side. In the second method, the fist is held in the normal position for a seiken. The difference is in the thrust. For in this position, the punch is delivered with the fist palm up. At the moment of impact, there should be a slight twist in the wrist to maximize the punch's effectiveness. Subsection A. Uriken Shomen Uchi. Back fist frontal punch. In this position, the striking fist is held close to the body at about shoulder height, with the back of the hand facing the opponent. The fist is then thrust forward to strike the opponent's face. The actual striking can either be directly in front or from slightly above, depending upon the degree of bending in the wrist. Subsection B. Uriken Seiyuuchi. Back fist 1-2 punch. Here, the elbows and fists are held at chest height, with the back of the hands facing the opponent. Then, using the elbows as pivots, thrust forward and strike with each fist in sequence. These punches are intended mainly for the face, and each should be pulled back immediately after hitting its mark. This will allow for greater speed. Maximum power will be created by the effective twisting of the hips, as well as a pushing off from the opponents as each punch is thrown. Subsection C. Uriken Hizo Uchi. Back fist punch to the spleen. In the starting position, the fists are held at navel level, one in front of the other. Then, using the elbows as pivots, thrust the fist into the opponent's side, either to the left or right as needed. The primary target is the gut area. Subsection D. Uriken Shitazuki. Back fist lower punch. This punch is the exact opposite of the Seiken Chudanzuki, in that although the primary positioning and forward thrust are the same, you strike with the fist palm up. It is particularly useful when you are grabbed suddenly by an opponent. Assume a low straddle stance as shown. Technique 3. Tegatana, hand sword. In the hand sword, or knife hand, the hand is open. The thumb is bent and held tightly against the edge of the hand. The forefingers are tensed, naturally curved and slightly apart. The outer edge of the hand is primarily used for striking. Subsection A. Tegatana Sakatusu Uchi. Hand sword collarbone chop. Hold the striking hand with the palm facing up on a level with the ear, and swiftly bring the hand forward and down in an arc-like motion in order to hit the opponent's collarbone. Note that the other hand is also held in the Tegatana position in preparation for the next blow. The collarbone is rather weak, with a blow to it, and a blow to it will cause difficulty in breathing and restriction of arm movement. Subsection B. Tegatana Sakotsu Uchikomi. Hand sword collarbone strike. Hold the hand at shoulder height and thrust forward to strike the opponent's collarbone. This differs from the previous technique in that there is more follow-through after the strike. Subsection C. Tegatana Higanmin Uchi. Hand sword face chop. Hold the striking hand, as in a Tegatana Sakutsu Uchi, then bring the hand swiftly down across the face, ear, or neck of an opponent. At the moment of contact, the blow should be slightly bent. The elbow should be slightly bent. Subsection D. Tegatana Nakauchi. Hand sword crossbody chop. Hold the striking hand across your chest at the level of the opposite ear, then bring the hand diagonally across your body in a straight line. The major targets are an opponent's face, neck, throat, and arms. Technique 4. Segatana, reverse hand sword. In this position, the thumb is tucked into the palm, and is the inner edge of the hand that is used to strike. Sekatana may be used from above, from the side. However, strikes thrown in this manner are weaker than those of Tekatana, and therefore is rarely used. Technique 5. Nukite, piercing hand. In this position, the hand is held in the same manner as Tekatana, except the fingers are not separated. It is important that the fingers never be bent backwards, as serious injuries to the hand can result. The major targets are an opponent's stomach or throat. A blow to the solar plexus with the nukite will render an opponent unconscious. Another common attack is the lower rib cage. For the greatest effect, you should aim the blow between two ribs. An expert can nearly penetrate the body with this technique. An attack to the throat will possibly cause lethal damage, as this area is very soft and vulnerable. Technique 6. Variation of nukite. In this variation, the fingers are bent slightly inwards at the first knuckle. This is used when attacking with a roundhouse blow rather than a straight thrust. It allows for greater power and lessens the danger of a hand injury. Technique 7. Ippo nukite, one finger piercing hand. Here the index finger, forefinger, is extended forward while the other fingers are bent into the palm, and the thumb bends tightly against the side of the middle finger. You thrust with this technique either with the back of the hand facing to the side or facing up. It is only used to attack the eye, below the nose, the throat, or the lower rib area. For best effect, the index finger should be bent very slightly inwards. Technique A. Nihon nukite, two-finger piercing hand. Here, the index and middle fingers are extended forward, while the other two fingers are bent with the thumb touching the ring finger. Technique 9. Kiko, chicken beak fist. Bend the four fingers at the knuckles and bring the fingertips together. Then place the thumb underneath the tip of the middle finger. You strike an opponent from above or from the side using a quick snap of the wrist. The major target is the eye. Technique 10. Oyayubi Ippon Ken, thumb fist. This is the same as the Seiken position, except the thumb tip pushes against the area between the fist and the second joint of the index finger, so that the first joint of the thumb sticks out. You strike an opponent with the thumb joint against the temple or below the earlobe. Caution: this punch is extremely dangerous and could easily kill an opponent. Therefore, use it with great care and never make contact during practice. Technique number 11. Hitosashi Yubi Ippon Ken, the four-finger fist. This position is similar to the Seiken position, except for the second joint of the index finger should protrude from the thumb and should press against the side nail of the index finger. You may attack either from above or directly in front of it. From directly in front of an opponent. Targets are A, the lower rib area, B, beneath the nose, C, the middle of the forehead, and D, the throat. Technique 12. Nakayubi Ippon Ken, the middle finger fist. This position is similar to Hitosashi Yubi Ippon Ken, except that it is the second joint of the middle finger which protrudes. The thumb pushes tightly against the area between the first and second joint of the index finger. Attack procedure and targets are the same for Hitosashi Yubi Ippon Ken. In addition to this position, there is also a combination of Hitosashi Yubi Ippon Ken and Nakayubi Ippon Ken called Nihon Ken, two-finger fist, where the second joints of both the index and middle finger protrude. There there's a technique known as Hyotoken, dragon's head fist, where the middle finger's second joint protrudes to form the point of a triangle, with the other fingers, second knuckles, slightly protruding to form the triangle sides. Technique 13, Tetsui, iron hammer fist. For this technique, the hand is put into the seiken position. However, here it is the meaty outer edge of the hand that is used to strike the opponent. While this is not a sharp blow, it is a heavy and quite powerful weapon. You may attack from above to strike the head or shoulder of an opponent, or from the side in order to strike the temple, neck, or beneath the earlobe. Shote, palm heel thrust. Here you use the heel of the hand to strike an opponent. The blow is thrust forward powerfully in a pushing motion. Targets are the face and the jaw. This technique is also used against other areas in defense. To the jaw from below, to the spleen from the side. The correct stance and preparation for performing the Shote Chudan, middle palm heel thrust. Shote to the stomach. 15. Toho, sword peak hand. This is the wedge formed when the thumb is extended away from the rest of the hand. The target for this technique is the throat. Thrust forward and strike the opponent's throat strongly, as shown in photo. Technique 16. Heiken, flat fist. In this position, the fingers are bent at the second joints as if to make a fist, but the tips do not touch the palm. It is the first joints of the fingers and the palm that strike the object. Typical targets are the ear, the cheek, and the throat, and the face. Caution, when applied to the ear, Heiken can rupture the eardrum. 17. Koken, arc fist. This position is formed by bending the wrist forward and placing the thumb at the base of the middle finger. An opponent is struck with the outer portion of the wrist. Targets include the spleen, face, and jaw. You can attack from above, below, or from either side of an opponent. An advanced student can also use this as a defensive technique. Note that the wrist area is very sensitive, and when practicing, you should avoid striking hard objects. '18. Hiji, elbow. The elbow is considered to be the most devastating weapon in karate. It is a very hard bone, and it is close to the shoulder, which generates much of the power for a blow. The elbow is used in 4 ways. It can strike down on an opponent, or it can strike up, or to the side, or to the back. It is primarily used when an opponent is in close proximity. Technique 19. Kote, forearm. This is the part of the arm between the elbow and the wrist. It is most often used in defense as a block. The fist is held in either the seiken or the tangata position. As shown in the photos, there are 1 forearm, back forearm, and front forearm. While kote is mostly used for defense, the back forearm position may be used for striking an opponent's jaw. 20. Additional upper body weapons. These are the head, the shoulder, and the teeth. The head may strike an object from any direction, but the primary target is an opponent's face. When practicing, do not use the head to strike hard objects. When using the shoulder, be sure to strike with the bony portion.